Hello, good morning everybody. Today is 4th of March 2019 and the very first day of the week. So today we are basically going to look at just some pairs, 6 pairs, and then we're going to look at them from the monthly point of view. We want to see if there are any good trades that we expect for the coming month. So we'll start off with the first pair, and that should be Euro USD. Then we'll move straight to GBPUSD, then the next one USD/JPY, then we'll go to SP500, and then we'll also look at Brent oil and gold. So let's move to the main chart. We'll see here, and I want to mention something here that if you're skiing my screen, you can see the MT4, but then there's something that is moving below the screen. So that is like a bonus. If you can predict the price correctly, where Euro USD is going to be at the close of Wednesday, then you'll be able to get up to $30. So the thing is still moving. Just observe it, read it properly, ensure you understand whatever it means before you eventually settle for that prediction. So it's a free thing. There is no special link. You just need to predict on the chart. The one you can, if you're watching on YouTube, then there's a place where you can now see charts moving. You should be able to write there. Let me just write there hi. So this is where you write the prediction. This is where we write prediction. Write the predictions. So let's move forward. We want to go to the major. Let's see what we have for the day. We'll move to Euro USD, the very first one. This is it. This is what we drew a few weeks ago. So according to this chart, you can see the previous week's candle, which is this one, is actually some possible sell candle. This one is a possible sell candle, and it's below a level where there was a support which was breached. Price came back up and now it's exhausting itself. So this is a possible sell candle, but the fact that the current week's candle actually gapped above this level means that the price is likely heading upwards. So overall, from the monthly point of view, expect this pair to go upward. Therefore, the sell we are seeing on the weekly may not necessarily be a genuine one. Something like this. Just look at it from the monthly and you'll see whatever I'm saying. From the monthly point of view, we actually have this monthly. We had a level at this point, a very good support, and this support was supported by a level here at the very top, which is this. So we did mention previously that the price has been moving in descending manner. We can see there was a resistance, then it went down, then there's another resistance from that point there, then it continued even lower, and then we saw another resistance there. And we want price to use the same thing in the future. So as long as the price does not go below 1.1219, we want price to pull back up to that trend line before it embarks on a move to the lower. Something like this is likely. So we are basically looking for a buy, but that buy should go only up to that trend line. I'm going to add an indicator maybe to see if there's any clear direction. I'm going to add MACD there. We want to find out the columns of MACD are actually breaking below 0. So somehow there's a contradictory here, but we want price to go up to that trend line before we can pick a sell from that point to the lower side. So we'll move straight to the next side. That should be GBPUSD here. So with this chart here, you can see that last week we mentioned that this is a very clear resistance. From this point, you can see a resistance, then price went down, it came back up to the same resistance, then down, back up, resistance, then it went down, and now the price has come back to the same spot. So instead of going short based on whatever we said last week, there's something that has happened significantly. Actually, the price has gapped above 1.3203. So, and also the other side, we can see that the columns of MACD, which is this, has basically began to break above 0.00. So this could be a sign that we are heading to the upper side. This is a potential good sign that we are heading up. So as long as the price remains above 1.3203, we actually expect a move to the upper side. But you confirm this from the weekly. Look at this like this. From the monthly, sorry, I'll move to a chart I had previously. On the monthly chart, the previous month's candle, which is this, was actually a very good bullish candle. So this could push price even higher. Based on this one, we expect price to move higher. There's a level there. We also have three candles that are supporting the same upward move. We have this one, pin bar, engulfing pin bar, engulfing candle. Then yes, we have a bullish pin bar. So basically, this continuation is for upwards. It indicates that the price is likely heading upwards. But there's a level here which has to be broken. We have a very good resistance here, 1.3270, which price has to go above before we can see a move even higher. So technically this is a buy. For me, from the monthly point of view, we have a possible buy, but price needs to close above this level, 1.3270, before we can confirm that eventually this thing is moving up. So there's also a level here which price may be moving up to. If price is to go up, then this the next place is possibly going up to. We have a support, there's a break below, then we have a resistance, and price should get back to it in the near future. So something like this is likely, you're likely to see a possible scenario where price retraces back to the previous week's opening price or previous month's opening price. Then it pushes back up to 1.409 before we see a plunge, something like this. So technically this is the place to sell from. We sold from that point. We're also waiting to sell from this point. These are the places to sell from there, also wait and sell from that point. We'll move to the next chart, and that should be USDJPY. So from the indicators first, we want to understand this from the indicators point of view. First of all, I'm going to add a level to that indicator, 25, and then make appearance to be look good. Like that's the level I've added. So this is how this indicator was. This is called ADX, average directional movement index. You add it going through you need to go to insert, and then the first one, indicators, then you should be able to get under the trend indicator. So how it works is this: we have the complete line, which is this, and then we have the dotted one. There are two dotted ones. We have the first one and the next one. Anytime we have the green dotted one above the red dotted one, it means there's an upward trend. Price is currently moving upwards. And anytime we have the red one above the green one, it means that the trend is downwards. Then the main line, which is this, the one I've not mentioned, this one stands for an active trend. So anytime you have this main line above 25, it means that there's an active trend, but it does not indicate which trend is active. Like in this case, from this point here, from this point, you can see we have the dotted one, and then we also have the green complete one. Anytime you have this green one, the line, the complete one, above 25, it means that there's an active trend. Then in this case, we have the dotted one, the red one, above the green one, which means we have a trend, and that trend is downwards. Then from this point here, there's a trend based on that one. That trend is upwards. And where the price is now, from this point, just look at it like this. From this point, we have the green one above the red one, which means there's an upward move, but then the complete one is below 25. That means there's no clear trend. So that is based on the indicator. If you confirm with price action, the price is actually headed strictly to the upper side. So we are basically waiting for a retracement. Don't sell anything at the moment. Wait for a slight retracement. Pick a buy from that point, expecting price to move even higher up to the very top. So basically, these are the places to trade from. You may want to. We took a buy from this one previously. We are waiting to take a second buy from that point. We'll also pick the third buy from that point. All of them will take our profits at the very top at that point. So I hope this should make some sense. This should be making sense for us now that we have levels. if you manage to pick a trade from that point, you should also be able to buy from that point, and you should also be able to buy at the very top, which is this up to the top 117.92. So USD/JPY on this pair, we're actually looking for these levels. We are looking for 117.92, 114.05, 110.78, 108.55, and 104.52. So that should be it for the currencies, the major ones. And I want to mention that on this day, on 6th of March this year, you get a chance to get up to $30 bonus from FreshForex. You need to predict the price of Euro USD at the close of the day. Like, you need to say that I expect Euro USD to be at this price by the close of the day. Then if the price you predicted is close to the actual price on the FreshForex Classic account, then you'll be able to get up to $30 bonus from FreshForex. So the money is not withdrawable, but the profits are withdrawable. So you will need to trade, then you'll be able to get the profit, to withdraw the profits. So we'll move straight to the next set, and that should be SP500. I have it there, and I'm going to start with this indicator, ADX. I really like this indicator. It's one of my favorite indicators. So I'm going to start by first analyzing based on it first of all. So from this point here, this was on 7th of January this year, we had the complete line being above 25, and the green dotted one was above the red one, which means from this point here up to where the price is, this indicator was actually showing us a buy. And as it is at the moment, this is still a buy. You should expect price to be moving even higher, even as we speak. So far you can see there's still these moves. The green dotted one is still spiking even higher, while the red dotted one is spiking even lower. So that means there's still an active trend even on this chart. So we are looking at this level here. Indicator side, we are looking at these are the levels we're looking at on this chart. Previously we had a level here. Just a second, let me put this straight so that you are able to see it. This is what happened. We suggested a buy, and so far the price went perfectly as we mentioned. We took a buy. The very first buy we took was this one. We're still holding. It went up, retraced, then we took a buy after this pin bar. It breached this resistance, retraced back, we took a buy, then it went up, and there's another resistance here which was breached here. It went above, retraced back, we took another buy, expecting price to go up to this point, 2814.2. So following the gap we saw just earlier this day, we want price to clearly ascend above this level. Let it close above, then retrace back to the same point, let it close above, so what I'm trying to say is let price clearly go beyond 2814.2, let it rise above, retrace back, then take a buy from that point up to the very top, up to 2934.2. So basically these are the places you should buy from that point, buy from that point, buy from that point. You also ought to have bought, and then you're also waiting to buy from this point. So on this chart, I'm not going to add much. The same information still applies, the one we had yet last week. We've been on buy and buy and buy, and we're still looking for even more buys. So we want price to clearly close above, as I've mentioned, 2814.2, then continue, retrace back to the same key level. We'll pick a buy from that point up to the top, up to 2934.2. So we'll move straight to the next chart, and that should be Brent oil. And listen, I'm going to look at it from other dimensions. Let us look at it from maybe monthly first before we move forward. Minimize that. It's a very key level here, which, if you can remember, actually had it last week. The first thing here that you can see is that the price actually spiked up, then there's a drastic drop. It came back. We had a resistance. We also had a resistance there. We also had a resistance there. And then the same trend line is holding like forever. It keeps holding. Anytime the price attempts to break above it, it fails. Then it goes down the same place, the same place, the same place. And from whatever we've seen from the past, We basically want price to come back to the same trend line before we can pick a sell. So this one will even be a low, another lower low, a very good sign that we are heading even lower. Don't confuse this move to the upper side of the change to an uptrend. This could just be a retracement back to this level before we can pick a sell. So there's another thing. Notice this a resistance, a monthly resistance. If price can come back to this trend line and at the same time it's touching the resistance, the one I've mentioned, then that will be a very good place to sell from. Listen, I hope that should make sense. Like the same point you want to sell from should both be a horizontal diagonal level and also a horizontal level. So we are basically waiting to sell from this point. We sold there. We didn't sell yet because it was the first time. We're waiting to sell there. Should price get back to that level? That should be several months from now. So you're doing long-term trades, then just know that we expect a possible move upwards and price needs to come up to that level so that we pick a sell from that point to the lower side. So from the daily chart, let's see. On the daily chart, we have our indicator already attached. From this indicator, the very first thing I'm seeing is that the complete line here, which stands for a trend, is above 25, and that means you have an active trend. Then we have the green one above the red one, which means the trend which is active is upwards. So on this chart, basically, from what we mentioned last week, we want price to pull back up to this zone, up to somewhere within 62.80 to 61.88, so that we can pick a buy from that point there up to this level, then the next one, and then the next one up to the very top, up to 86.05. So far we are actually looking for a buy 3 trades, this one, and then the next one at the very top. We'll move straight to the next chart, the next and the last chart, and that should be gold. And this is what I have on gold so far. So you can remember last week, while we were giving this focus, we mentioned that gold is likely heading downwards from this trend line. So how somebody is probably wondering how comes the price is heading down. That's if you're doing 1 minute or one daily chart or lesser time frames. The main reason gold is heading downwards is because this was a very clear monthly resistance. Price does not always break above a level easily. It tends to hold, levels tends to hold. So as you can see, notice this was from 2013 until now. Price, anytime the price attempts to break above, it fails. It comes back up, fails, comes back, fails, comes back, fails, and we expect price anytime it comes back in this place here, it should fail in the future. So there's a place where maybe it can break above, and the reason I suggest that it may break above is because from the past we are actually making lower highs, higher lows, sorry. This is the lower low, there's a higher low, there's another higher low, and should price get back to the same place, this is going to be another higher low, and then the last one should be when price is above the same place it was unable to break above. So far, the reason I've placed this here 1, 2, not because the price will come back to that trend line twice, but this is just a projection that it may come back twice. It may come back maybe once, twice, or maybe more than 2 times. But all in all, I expect it to bounce from this level before eventually it breaks above 1350.93. So on this chart from the monthly, we're actually looking at this. We're also looking at this. We're also looking at this one. These are the place to look for a buy, a break above, so that you pick a buy, another one, and the last one should be there. So we'll move to maybe a lesser time frame to see if they are good trades. From the weekly, this pin actually drove price lower. The pin bar we had some few weeks ago actually drove price strictly to the lower side. So possibly we are somehow heading downwards. The price did not reach our target before it pulled to the lower side. So as it is at the moment, this is a bearish candle, and the best place to sell from will be when price retraces back up to this level. So just notice whatever happened, there's a clear break below this big candle, price broke below like that, then it went again below the same level with a big candle. This is a sign that we are selling. The price is heading down. So something like this is likely. You're likely to see a possible retracement back to somewhere within that zone before you can pick a sell. This is what you expect. So the best place to sell from, according to this chart, is from 13.85. Wait for a retracement back to this level, pick a sell from that point, expecting price to go up to somewhere like this, up to this level. This is the best place to trade from. So you manage to pick a sell from that point, then expect it to go up to that trend line. So that should bring us to the end of today's market overview. So far we've looked at just all the pairs you have to look at, and I want to mention something before we clear, that there's a contest that is currently going on with FreshForex. If you are listening to whatever I'm saying now on YouTube, then you need to predict where the price of Euro USD is going to close on Wednesday. On Wednesday, while I'll be doing the same market overview, just recommend, you need under the chart option, state where you expect Euro USD to be at the end of the day. So if your result is correct, assuming you suggest that Euro USD is going to close at price 1.2345, then it is true that at that time, midnight, the price of the actual price was actually 1.2345. Then that is going to be, you're going to be given $30 bonus from FreshForex. So it's that simple. There is no fast, nothing. It's just that anytime you predict correctly on 6th of March, that is this March, then you'll be able to get up to $30 bonus from FreshForex. So the only thing you need to do, just if you're listening on YouTube, then you are able to see where I've done some writing. That is where you're supposed to have written. This is where to write. Let me just put that on the screen. Sorry, I realized my voice was broken while I was saying that, so I want to repeat something. That on Wednesday, this Wednesday, 6th of March, if you can predict where Euro USD is going to close by the end of the day, then FreshForex will give you up to $30 bonus. Not up to, will give you $30 bonus. So the thing you need to do is to predict correctly. Just ensure you suggest that I expect Euro USD to close at this price. Then if it is true that on the live chart Euro USD has closed close to that price which you forecasted, then FreshForex is going to give you up to $30 bonus. So thank you very much. See you again tomorrow at the same time.